guys, it's Lily May coming to you live from Las Vegas.
And this is LindaRose coming to you live from Maine.
I am so excited for today's episode. We have a lot of really cool things to share with you guys.
Yeah, this episode, this interview, I wasn't included in because I've had a lot of stuff going on, which is why I've been out for a little bit. But luckily, the lovely Renee covered for me, which I was so happy about. And I watched the interview; it was amazing. This girl, she is so mature for her age. I mean, insanely professional, and it's a great, great interview that I think a lot of you guys will learn a lot from, no matter what age you are.
Absolutely. We interviewed Lily. She is a 9-year-old entrepreneur and she founded her own small business, Lilly Aromas. She is so amazing and she's so well spoken and so professional for being 9. And I just was so honored to be able to talk with her. And I hope you guys enjoy her interview.
Easy to get caught up in the success we see in others, especially on social media. Just as your journey is on its own path too, doesn't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. But we often forget that every person, every business, every idea starts somewhere. You may not know the struggles, failures, or hard work that went into their journey too. It's important to remember that we are all on our own unique paths, and comparison truly is a thief of joy. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, let's celebrate their successes and use them as an inspiration to fuel our own journeys. Let's focus on our own growth and trust that our journey is unfolding just as it's meant to. Remember, every success story started with an idea, a dream, a seed. So keep watering your own seeds, keep nurturing your own dreams, and trust that with time, they will blossom into something beautiful. Your journey may not look the same as someone else's, and that's okay too. Embrace your own path, because it's yours, and it's leading you exactly where you need to go. Keep chasing your dreams, bestie. You've got this.
Hey, Lily, thank you so much for coming on today to do an interview with us.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I am absolutely so grateful.
Can you introduce yourself, Lily, and talk to us a little bit about your journey?
Yes, hi, I'm Lily. I'm 9 years old, and I'm the founder of Lilly's Aromas. I was bullied at school mentally and physically. I was pushed down metal stairs. I was thrown rocks at. My bullies tried to cut my hair, and my mom tried to homeschool me. At the same time, COVID hit, and then I was homeschooled, and everybody was homeschooled. Me and my mom do this ritual where we go upstairs, light a candle, and watch our favorite show, Friends. But we realized the candles in the market had very bad toxins in them. And they had phthalates, they had parabens, because we researched it and because it was giving us headaches. So when we researched it, we were like, oh no, this is not what we want. So we decided to make wax melts. And when we made wax melts, they were bad at first because we used the wrong wax and just wasn't good at first. But then after months of skill, we got good at it, and then we started making candles. So when we started making candles, then we were really good at the first bit as well. But then my mom had this friend of hers, and she was in Spain. She made these beautiful candles. So we decided to call her, and she said I said oh hi, and can you give us some tips? So she gave us some tips and instructions and how to make the candles. So when we made the candles, then we decided that we wanted to just start doing it every day. And then, Lilly's Aromas was born because we did it that at first, but then good after months of skill because we got feedback from my friends and family that tested our candles that said they were good, and orders started rolling in, and then just they came to business and just happened.
Wow, that's so amazing. And I love getting to hear some about your journey and how you started. You have such an amazing story and mission statement for your business. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about how it went from selling to friends and family to a full business concept.
So basically, me and my mom and my dad, we decided, because of COVID, we had a lot of Amazon boxes, that we wanted to get the boxes, and we just made it into a store. We got all of the things around the house, we put it on the side, and my dad was the applier of like bringing the products in, and my mom was the customer. And because my mom cried to my mom on the sofa and said, like, I don't know how to teach her, like I'm not a great teacher, like how do I do this? And my grandma's like a teacher throughout life, so she said like, oh yeah, like okay, just like do a little play store, and then she won't realize that she's doing math, and she won't realize that she's doing it. So we did it, and didn't even realize I was learning math. We were doing coins and everything and money, and I was like, I want to do this every day. So yeah, we just like started into the business, and it was just really an accident, actually.
That is so inspiring, and that is so cool. And I love how that's how innovation actually happens a lot of times.
Yeah.
It just comes out of there. Can you walk us a little bit through your process when you're coming up with new product ideas?
Yes. So it's like customer demand. It's like people say, oh, can you make this product? Can you make like skincare products, for an example? And I say, yeah, it doesn't make sense to my business. Like it's like hard to launch like a new product line when it's like expensive, and it's a lot to do, because you have to be really good at the other product that you're already doing, and then you can launch that other product. But it has to make sense to my business, and what there is a storyline behind it, and what I'm doing, and make sure it makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Absolutely. I was looking at your website and you have so many amazing products, and I was so impressed by all the steps that you've taken to keep your products eco-friendly. I was wondering, what does it mean to you being able to keep your products non-toxic, sustainable, and cruelty-free?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so basically I like to keep, because other people in the market and we make handles sometimes are toxic and can be have parabens like phthalates, which is nasty and not good for you. So my candles are eco-friendly, sustainable, don't give you any headaches, and I like to keep my candles non-toxic, because toxic means like parabens are like, what is it again, like parabens and phthalates are something to irritate your lungs, to irritation to your lungs, and that's what it is, like gas in the candles. That's the petroleum.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so interesting. And your products and everything are so impressive. I'm going to need to order something from there because they look so cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Me too, because it's so good for the environment too, and also for our health. So absolutely, now I think you just won a bunch of new customers, including us. Um, so talk us a little bit through how you tie homeschooling in with running a business, and then walk us through a typical school and work day.
Okay, so basically I wake up, I journal, because so I have many thoughts in my head that I want to just like clear my mind on, that I write down, that what I'm going to achieve in the day, what I'm going to do in the day, and what I'm grateful for. There's 3 things. And then I write them all down, and then my mind is clear and fresh. So then I make my bed, I get dressed, go to the bathroom, I brush my hair, I start get ready for the day, and then I go downstairs, say hi to my family, and then have pancakes or cereal, whatever is served for breakfast, and then I start just working with my operation manager, or my mom, or my dad, and need to do whatever needs to be done. And because yeah, and then I just have some relaxed time with my family after I'm done all of my work, and then probably play some games, and then I head to bed. And well, I do my skincare journal again and see what I've achieved in the day, and then I go to bed.
It was so interesting to hear how a day in your life looks. I know I'm in high school and I've been homeschooled for my entire education, which is really nice with being able to have flexibility to do what I want with my music career and talk show goals.
So, Lily, is this your first entrepreneurial endeavor, or have you tried starting another business in the past?
I actually, so when I was younger, when I first started Lilly's Aromas, I had Lulu's shop, where I'd make bracelets, shirts, bath bombs, and other many stuff. And I had Lulu's Aromas and Lulu's shop, which was really hard for me to handle because everybody was ordering at the same time, and I had to go didn't really tie together. So that's when I realized that I was like, I can't do this. Like I can't do two at the same time, multitask, because that's really hard. So Lulu's shop doesn't really exist anymore. Because it's hard for me to do it at the same time. So we just pushed it back, and then we just carried on with Lulu's Aromas and focused on just one, and then yeah.
Wow, that's such an amazing entrepreneurial mindset to have. Switching gears for the interview, I know that managing social media is a lot of work, but it can also be really rewarding to have a platform to promote your business. Can you talk to us some about your experiences with promoting yourself through social media?
Basically, I posted what's gonna interest people and value. And because if I was that person, I was looking at my video and I was like, oh, would I scroll? Would I look, or would I be interested in it? So then I create what's going to bring interest and value to the people who are going to be watching it. So I say, oh, I'm going to create my story and very heartful, very emotional way. And so I did it, and it brought interest and value to people, and everybody liked it. It was blowing up, and that's the part where I just knew I bring value and interest to the people who are watching it.
Absolutely. It was so cool to hear how you come up with your content. And I know you have the most engaging content. I've literally spent hours on your channel. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're such a good speaker too, and a public speaker. So, how does your public speaking help you when you're running a business?
It helps me get confident and good at my business. So if I'm going to a public speaking event, I'm always sometimes I'm shy at the moment, and then I get very hypered up because I love public speaking is one of my goals, and I love public speaking because it makes me confident and just share my story with other people.
Public speaking is such a great skill to have. I know it took me a
Yeah.
long time to get really good at it. I was so nervous speaking in front of people. So I think people like you are so inspiring with being able to go on and do a lot of public speaking work. Giving back to the community is something that is so powerful and important. Can you talk to us some about the charity work that Lilly's Aromas does?
Yeah, of course. I love that question. So basically, I work with the Canadian Women's Foundation. They are a great foundation because they help people in abusive situations, empower women, and embrace them and inspire them, which makes me so happy, and I love that. And I do the One Tree Planted, which is I like helping the trees grow because out there's global warming. So I love to help the deforestation and bring the trees back.
That's so amazing. You pick the most amazing foundations. I loved the one that focuses on female empowerment too, because Orchid Times here, we talk a lot about female empowerment, and that's like our mission statement. So I love that. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is so cool. So, what is the funnest side of your business running for you? Is it the business part, or do you like the media part?
Both. I love both.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love both.
media and business seem like they would be so much fun. I find your story so inspiring with how young you were when you first started your company. And I'm curious to know, have you ever been told that you're too young to be focused on business? And what would you tell somebody that has that viewpoint?
Yeah, I've been told that many times on social media. So I'd say to them, like, it's my life. I can control it. Like I can do what I want with my business and what I would like to do with my business. Like, I'm in control. Like, I can do whatever I want with my business, and if I want to do my business or if I don't want to do my business, it's not their choice to control me. So it's my life and I'll do whatever.
Absolutely. I love that answer. It's so powerful.
That was so awesome, Lily. Thank you for saying that. What was your proudest moment in your journey so far?
Proudest moment is inspiring people, caring for the community, like help people chase their dreams, and inspiring people to make their own little business.
I love that
Absolutely.
response so much. And I think it's going to inspire so many young entrepreneurs who are watching this. Thank you so much, Lily, for coming on and doing an interview with us today. For our last question tonight, how can people support you and your business?
On my social media, they can support me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Yeah, that's some of my platforms.
Absolutely. We have all of Lily's links below in the description. So make sure to check out our website and stuff if you're interested in ordering she has amazing products.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Lily, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
As promised, during Earth Month, I want to take you behind the scenes at LillyRose Aromas. I want to share some changes I'm working on to improve our candles. But first, let's talk about why we use soy wax and why it matters a lot. Did you know that many big box stores use paraffin wax in their candles? And do you really know what you're burning in your home? Well, paraffin wax is derived from petroleum, and when it burns, it releases harmful toxins into the air that can be dangerous to our health and cause lung irritation. That's why we at LillyRose Aromas choose to use soy wax in our candles. Soy wax is a natural and renewable source made from soybean oil, and it burns cleaner and longer than paraffin wax. However, we are not stopping there. We're now moving to use coconut soy wax. Coconut soy wax is a sustainable and renewable source that offers a smoother burn with fewer issues like clear tops and uneven wax levels. Also more environmentally friendly as it reduces our dependence on soybean farming, which can have its own environmental impact. Switching to coconut soy wax is one of the changes we'll be making in the next few weeks, and I'm so excited about the benefits it will bring to our candles. I can't wait to continue learning all about sustainability and how I can make a difference in the industry. Have more ideas? Don't forget to drop them in the comments.
Lily's interview was so great. She was amazing to get to talk to, and she is so talented, especially for 9.
Yeah, the fact that she is 9 years old and is more mature than a lot of adults and high schoolers that I go to school with is insane. She was extremely, like, her answer for explaining how she deals with hate on social media, and how she deals with that is so amazing and extremely, it's like an extremely important skill, because as a human you run into a lot of people who aren't going to agree with you, and having to go through that and having to deal with that in a responsible way is a skill everybody has to learn, and the fact that she's already got that skill down to a T is so perfect. I'm so proud of her already, and I can't wait to see what she accomplishes in the future. And I can't wait to order some of her candles because I am a candle collector. I have so many. I am definitely gonna be ordering some of hers because I'd love to support her. And also, a candle's a candle. Like, I just have one.
Absolutely. I'm going to be ordering one of her Pride candles that she has super soon. They're adorable. And if any of you guys want to order some of her candles, we have all of her links to her websites and everything in the description below. And I really loved what she was saying about how to deal with hate on social media too. I think that was a really powerful quote and a lesson to learn. And yeah, it's an amazing thing to learn at 9.
Yeah, it's an amazing skill to have, especially that young. And because of the bullying that happens, like she said, and that she went through, having that skill is really, really important, and she's gonna go so, so far in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. For our next part of today's episode, we're going to do our new segment, and I'm super excited for today because we wanted to invite our producer Renee on to join us for this new segment today.
Hello.
Hey Renee, thank you so much for being here and doing this with us today.
Thank you for allowing me. I'm super excited. Thank you both.
Well, thank you. So, for our first topic tonight, we wanted to talk some about the new Florida 6-week abortion ban. So, Ron DeSantis, the Republican governor of Florida, has signed a law that bans abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. This policy would affect women throughout the South. Since Roe versus Wade was overturned, many states have banned abortion entirely, like Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and also Georgia, that has a law that bans abortion after cardiac activity is detected. And women who are in these states were previously traveling to Florida to receive care there as an option. Not to mention that most women don't even know that they're pregnant until 6 weeks. And the law does contain exceptions, including to save a woman's life, and abortions involving rape would be allowed up until 15 weeks, provided a woman has documentation such as a restraining order or a police report. But as we know, some of these women might not have access to these types of documents and stuff. And I just think it's really discouraging and upsetting to see the recent attacks that are being made on women's reproductive rights. And this is just another example of why it's so important that we keep speaking up and don't let others silence their voices.
Absolutely. And I'm not usually a politic person, and I am not one for, like calling out a state or something like that. But with Florida, it is a constant. We've seen so many discouraging and bad laws being passed there by Florida's government. And at this point, it's getting too much. And I'm not usually one to like bash a country, but this is really, really or bash a country, bash a state. This is just really, really disappointing, and it's something that seems like a trend for Florida's government. And because Florida is such a populated and popular place, it's really sad that some people don't even feel safe going there anymore because of these laws that are being passed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm seeing the trend too. And it seems like one of the things that happens is it's almost like this snowball effect where they get away with one thing or they try to push this sort of barrier and they push it farther and farther. And what they're doing, I think, is trying to test the waters to see how far they can go. And also, they're trying to incite their own type of change and impact on other states and on other groups of people. So, this is them really taking a stand in that direction to take away a woman's right to control her autonomy of body and to make sure that the government is having that control over women's bodies. So they're just continuing to push those boundaries and see how far people are going to let them go. And so it's up to the people and to the voters to really stand up. If you believe that women should have a right to control their own lives and bodies, then you need to vote, you need to speak out, you need to use any platform that you can, because like LindaRose said, this is continuing and it's a pattern.
It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
Seeing this trend, it's going to get to a point where Florida is going to become one of the most populated states in the US, and it's going to get to a point where it's not going to feel like a safe place for women or LGBTQ members, because we've seen Florida do some laws that affect LGBTQ members as well. And we're going to see we could see a huge decline in the population there because of how unsafe people feel, which is really disappointing because Florida has a lot of things to offer, and at the moment a lot of people don't feel safe there, which is really, really sad.
Yeah. And Renee, you brought up a really important topic too, that other states are going to start taking notice too of these type of laws, especially it's already happening. Many different states have already started trying to propose bills along the lines of what Florida has, like Nebraska. They're trying to advance a bill to vastly restrict abortion. Linda, did you want to start on this next one?
Yeah, so it's just I struggle with the abortion thing because I'm gonna be honest here. There are so many men that are making these decisions. And as a woman who knows people who have had abortions or seen stories online of people having abortions because they were sexually assaulted, it's I struggle with the men making the decisions because of the low. If you go online and you look up like the female population in like White House or like government, it's not a lot. So there are. I just struggle like the abortion thing. Like I get so emotional when we have these topics because it makes me as a woman feel silenced, and I'm sure Renee and Lily probably makes you feel silenced too, that men are making these decisions and that we don't really get a say because it's mostly men making these decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is the one, like Lily had mentioned earlier, this is the one that as soon as cardiac activity is determined, and that's in the 6 week area, which is like, that's before many women or most women even are aware that they're pregnant. They may have just missed their first period. So really these laws, like you're saying, first of all, it's men making most of these laws and pushing a lot of these laws, like LindaRose is saying. And men have never had to be in that predicament. Men don't know what that's like to have your body changing because you're pregnant. And men don't know what it's like because you're not even consenting at that point, because you're not even aware that you're pregnant. This is very, very early on. 6 weeks is very, very early on. So that's, I think it is disconcerting. And I think that the more we have women in positions of power, particularly in political power, we're going to see some of these changes, because it really does come down to, women understand what other women go through, and men can be allies and can be great helps here. And I encourage all men to please vote for women and for women's issues. However, for things like this, really, women are the ones who understand what these things are like.
I
Yeah,
also
absolutely. There
yeah, I
needs to
also
be
just
a
want
lot more women in politics.
yeah, I also just like to point something out in case some people out there aren't really getting how early 6 weeks is. When you are on your period, a lot of women get bloated. So when you are at 6 weeks, your stomach, if you're 6 weeks pregnant, your stomach can look like it's just bloating. So some women genuinely will not think that they're on their period because some women bloat on their period. So some women will think that they're just on their period or that they're just about to start it. They won't even think about being pregnant. So 6 weeks is such an early like ending line to know if you're pregnant, especially since if it's a girl in like high school who doesn't even like have a thought that she could be pregnant. It's really discouraging that if like they're 16 and they just had sex and now they have a 6 week limit. Like it's gonna make a lot of girls nervous, especially with unfortunately such high sexual assault rates now, especially. This is a really scary law that has just been passed for a lot of women.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super terrible to hear about this bill being passed and to hear about others being proposed like it. And it's just really sad to see more women having their rights taken away that were already diminished after Roe versus Wade was overturned. And that's why it's really important we just keep on speaking out against these bills as to hopefully prevent more being passed and more even being introduced in the future.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
For our next topic tonight, we wanted to talk some about the latest updates on the mifepristone lawsuit. Renee, did you want to start on this one?
You said so this is the abortion pill. And one of the things that's happening, and I think it's till tonight, is that correct? It's
Yeah, I believe so.
midnight or 11:59 tonight. Unless something happens, we can lose access to this abortion pill. It's a 2-part pill. You have to take there's 2 different steps to it. But essentially what would happen is that women would lose access to this bill. And it's something that can be used in the first trimester in order to help to induce an abortion. And it's something that's out there as another option for women. And losing access to this is, well, it's doubly concerning. Just first of all, we're talking again about what we already said about women's rights to control their own body and to have autonomy and to not have the government weighing in on medical decisions over a woman's body. But secondarily, there are people very concerned about what this could mean as we open the gate for other medications. So it's a big process when people are trying to come up with medications. They invent medications, they try to get them out in the market, they experiment, they go through trials. And we want to have a country that is fostering that sort of innovation, medical innovation and experimentation so that we can cure things that are out there. When the government is putting a ban on medications like what they're doing now, we're sending a message to innovators, to scientists, to people in the medical industry to not try to take these chances. And what we really want to have is we want more freedom. We want more options. We want more, geniuses stepping up to make all of this stuff and to have things because we want to cure things. And we also want, so this one is concerning for a two-part thing. So if you're out there and you're not particularly concerned about abortion for whatever reason, try to think a little bit deeper about if you want the government to be restricting your access to medications that might not be this one, but in the future, there could be something else that saves your life or a loved one's life. It's a very slippery slope here. And so this one is something that I'm hoping that people will research and try to figure out, because even if you're not passionate about abortion, this should concern you.
Yeah, absolutely. This lawsuit is super terrible and it's really concerning. And even though it's been put on hold, it's important to remember that the hold does end tonight and it has the possibility of still getting passed. And it's really important that we keep on spreading information and sharing any videos or articles that we come across about the lawsuit to help raise awareness and knowledge about it, because most people aren't informed about this either.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't heard very much coverage of it in the media. It's not something that is emblazoned on every single headline, and yet it's something that could potentially impact over time all of our lives and our access to the medical care that we and our doctors decide to do. So at the end of the day, like I said, everyone think long and hard about whether you want somebody in Washington who's never met you and doesn't have a medical degree to be able to determine whether or not you have access to medical, to drugs that are out there that could really help you and that other countries are going to have available, but America is going to start restricting them. And so it's really just the beginning of that with this. This is something that can open all of those gates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Earlier, we were talking about trends with Florida being a pretty problematic law-passing state. And another trend that you're seeing is that a lot of stories that are being covered in the media, a lot of them are straying away from the huge problems like abortion or taking away the pill, like the abortion pill, like we said. A lot of things that are being covered are a lot of things that include with celebrities, not breaking up with their partner or the big Met Gala or stuff like that, which really it's not as important as these laws and these pills being taken away from women like us, and it's things that should be covered and not celebrities' lifestyles.
Yeah, absolutely. For our last topic tonight, we wanted to take some time to talk a little bit about the new White House proposal. The White House has proposed a federal rule to limit how law enforcement and state officials can collect medical records if they investigate women who flee their home states to seek abortions elsewhere. This proposal was prompted by all of the recent attacks made against women's reproductive rights recently. Vice President Harris told reporters that this is one of the actions that this administration is planning on taking to push back against the new wave of abortion restrictions. And while this is a really good step forward and something I hope does get passed, it's important too that these step forwards keep on being made.
Absolutely. From what, tonight, it's on the show, it's obviously a very emotional episode that we're having, and because we're looking at so many negative things, having a step forward is, even though no matter how big or how small the step is, it's still a step forward. And although we'd love those steps to be huge, just having this step forward is truly amazing. Just still be having these step forwards, because I mean there are people out there that care. We just have to make sure that everybody that cares gets their voice heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, it comes down to privacy and it comes down to freedom. So if you are someone who is open to the idea that you or your loved one's medical records can be investigated and be used against you, just in general, I would encourage you to look into what's going on, because things don't typically end. The way the legal system works is it works on precedent. What that means is that something that happens that's about an abortion case can be extrapolated and used in parallel to advocate another loss of freedom. And it might not be something that you care about with abortion, but it might be something that you care about with something else, a different medical decision. So the White House is stepping in here and trying to limit that access to medical records of women who are seeking abortions or fleeing to another state in order, because now all the different states are having different laws. So a lot of women now have to pack their bags and go somewhere else to try and find some sort of sanctuary that they can go to, which is if you're pregnant and if you're trying to terminate your pregnancy, you might be in a situation that this is something that is a real hardship for a lot of these women who are in these situations. And so the White House is trying to limit the way that we are demonizing and punishing and making liable women who are trying to survive or make decisions over their own lives and their own bodies. So the more, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, the more that states are coming out and sort of trying to restrict access to abortion, it's incumbent on other people to step up. And now the White House is stepping up. We need checks and balances of people to step in and to say, no, people should be allowed freedom and they should be allowed to make their own decisions and choices about their body and all of that. So hopefully people are going to pay attention to that. And hopefully one of the things that we've made clear here tonight is stay informed, use your voice to speak out, and try to peel back the layers of that onion. It's not always just about abortion. Sometimes it's about how the government is stepping in and punishing and controlling a person's choice to their own body, their own life, their own property. Look into that and be open-minded.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of really great topics in there, and it's really important to stay informed, and that's why I'm so glad to be able to have a chance to do this news segment and to help inform some people on stuff that isn't making the front pages of the news and stuff. Thank you so much, Renee, for coming on and doing this news segment with us today. I loved having you on.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate being here.
Thank you. And before we close off, really quick, we just wanted to say that next week we're going to be doing our full discussion on the Nightingale. It's a super awesome book, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you guys some about it. So we have the link and stuff to the book in the description if you guys are interested in starting on reading it and everything. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here today.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and make sure you share this episode around so that these laws and these things are being passed that aren't getting the recognition they deserve do get the recognition they deserve through our show. And hopefully that any woman or any man, no matter what you identify as, it's okay to say no. And it's okay to stand your ground, because some people aren't going to there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to agree with you, but as long as you stand your ground, you swear to God, you're going to have a lot of people behind you that will support you. And it's really, really important that you stand your ground and you don't let anybody overstep you, even if that anybody is the government.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and see you guys next Wednesday.